WEF renews calls for ban on general public owning cars, living in single family homes. These people are crazy, man. I mean, think about it. These hypocrite elites. They got multiple cars. They don't care anything about them owning cars. They have multiple homes. They don't care anything about them owning homes and flying around on private jets, but they don't want you to have those things. These people are hypocrites. These people are terrible, terrible, evil people. And we're going to talk a little bit about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There's a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the WEF, and they report, I'm sorry, no, come from the W. This comes from Slay News. Sorry, this comes from Slay News, and they report that just days after BlackRock CEO Larry Fink was tapped as interim co-chair of the World Economic Forum, footage has emerged of one of the globalist organization's top members calling for a ban on the general public owning their own vehicles and living in single family homes. It makes you wonder, is that why vehicles are so expensive right now? Is that why homes are so expensive right now? They're trying to get you out of those things. But the alarming comments were made by Danish politician and WEF representative Ida Auken, who is listed as a WEF agenda contributor, smugly promoted a world where personal property is eliminated and citizens live under a system of renting and sharing. Let's just get to this clip here. Here we go. Let's hear what she has to say about this.
To think of in the paradigm of yesterday. So first we would say, here's a car, let's put an electric engine into it. Oh, let's make this car self-driving. But if it's the same car in a road that is completely congested, it doesn't matter whether this car is autonomous or electric or whatever, you still don't get anywhere. You just get stuck in traffic. So this is why we talk about mobility, because actually, if you can get people to share a car, you can take out, a lot of cars in the streets. I think it's Singapore where they looked at how they could bring it down to about 40% of the cars if we would use them smarter. And the interesting thing about technology is that it makes sharing easy and fun and not annoying. It used to be a little bit difficult to share. You would have to go in somewhere in the other end of town and get a key. And that's not what you want to do if you want to take your car. But if you can just use your neighbor's car because you have a smartphone and an app and you don't even need to know the neighbor to get into his car, or if you can find ways of carpooling, and this is what technology helps you do, it's much easier and much more fun to share. And you start then thinking completely different about transport and traffic. And I think it's very important that we do not just try to fix yesterday's paradigm, but think.
Okay, so do you think they're going to be sharing their vehicles, the elites? You think these WEF members going to be sharing their Porsches? They're going to be sharing their Lamborghinis? They're going to be sharing their Teslas? You think they're going to be ride sharing, carpooling places? Are you for real? But yet they want us to do it. They want us plebes to do it. It's disgusting. Disgusting work. But the comments echo the WEF's infamous "you'll own nothing and be happy" narrative. Been talking about that for years. Auken's statement is now fueling fears that unelected elites are openly pushing to strip citizens of basic ownership rights. Illuminati Bot, who I'm telling y'all need to follow this dude. Illuminati Bot have some is one of the best people I think on X actually. But he posted this back in on October 15th. WEF young global leader Ida Auken delivers a sales pitch for future without ownership, whereby products, tools, and appliances are rented and shared in what's known as circular economy instead of owned outright. But again, they're not going to be sharing any of their things. Do you really think she has a Porsche and she's going to share it with other people, with her neighbors, with other people? These people are so disingenuous. But let's play this clip. Here we go.
every product is a service waiting to happen. If you think about it, I mean, your cell phone, why do you want to own your cell phone? How many of you own your cell phones? How many knows if the company owns it? It's actually not a lot. I mean, you want the function, you want the service, right? Why do you want to own a cell phone if you can just lease it? And if you lease, why shouldn't you lease your refrigerator or your washing machine or your dishwasher? Or why do you want to own it? I mean, it's not like the plastic in the middle is like, I own a broke dishwasher. I mean, wow. No, why don't you want to go into a business model where the company owns it? You know what happens when the company owns it? Actually, they can bring down the prices because they don't have to buy new metal and new plastic. They design a much better product. It lasts a lot longer if they have to pick it up when it breaks. They might even send somebody to fix it. And in the end, they will do a better product and you will get a lower price. It's much.
Yeah, and what happens when you miss a payment? They come in and pick up your refrigerator and you have no refrigerator. They come and pick up your microwave and now you have no microwave. Like, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to do this?
Cheaper to lease a washing machine if you get the business model right, because you don't have to own all of this. So this change from product to service is pushing a lot of this. Of the circular economy, because the second the business owns the products, they start designing them in a way where everything can be taken out and reused. And then you get the incentives rights.
Wow. No one is asking for this. No one is asking for this, but they're pushing for this. This isn't the first time the forum has floated such ideas. In 2022, the WEF called for a ban on private car ownership, framing it as part of the global transition to so-called renewable energy. The group argued that the move is necessary to reduce reliance on critical minerals like cobalt, lithium, and nickel. The materials are essential for electric vehicles, wind turbines, and other green technologies. Quote, this transition from fossil fuels to renewables will be large supplies of critical metals such as cobalt, lithium, and nickel, to name a few, the WEF said in a 2022 report. Quote, shortages of these critical minerals could raise the cost of clean energy technologies. Even with recycling programs, the WEF warned mineral mining could spike 500% by 2025, and its solution was clear: less ownership, more sharing. The WEF insists more sharing will reduce demand for vehicles, electronics, and other consumable goods. Pointing to data that cars in England are driven only 4% of the time, the forum claimed widespread sharing initiatives like Get Around and Blue SG could dramatically slash global ownership. The same logic was applied to electronics. The forum noted that while most people already own phones or laptops, nearly 40% of global workers are also issued company devices. This is not at all resource efficient, the report claimed. Keeping a smartphone for 5 years instead of 3 reduces the phone's annual carbon footprint by 31%. Their proposed fix is to incentivize corporations to discourage frequent purchases, repurpose existing devices, and nudge consumers into sharing instead of owning. What the WEF doesn't address, sorry, I told y'all before, I love Slate News, but their freaking pop-ups is ridiculous. It messes me up every time. Where was I? Let's see, where was I? Their proposal, we'll just start off here. Sorry, I don't know where I was here. Oh, I mean, keeping a smartphone for 5 years. Okay, here we go. Their proposed fix is to incentivize corporations to discourage frequent purchases, repurposing existing devices, and nudge consumers into sharing instead of owning. What the WEF doesn't address is how such radical measures would actually work in countries like the United States, where personal cars are not luxuries but necessities, especially in rural and suburban areas with inadequate public transportation. Nor does it grapple with the reality that its so-called sharing economy requires constant surveillance, data tracking, and corporate gatekeepers controlling access to everything from cars to computers. Why would you want someone to have that much control over your life? With Larry Fink, the head of one of the world's most powerful financial institutions, now at the helm of WEF, critics warn that the push to erase private ownership may accelerate. What's being framed as sustainable and resource efficient looks in practice like a top-down system. Under these plans, ordinary people lose autonomy while global elites gain unprecedented control over access to goods and services. And that's what they want. Daniel Greenfield, he posted this on X. He said, "This is Ida Auken, the WEF lady. She actually a Danish politician who originated the 'you will own nothing' line. In reality, she owns plenty." These people are hypocrites, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But the message from the WEF is unmistakable. Your home, your car, your phone, even your basic tools of daily life, like your refrigerators and your microwaves and stuff like that, are in their crosshairs. They want you to lease everything, to rent everything, and own nothing, and they want you to be happy while they own their cars. They don't share their cars, but they want you to share your cars. They own multiple homes. They own private jets and fly on private jets for them. Hypocrites. It's disgusting. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.